بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. أما بعد, السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. So in this lesson, inshallah, I want to talk about makharij al-huruf, the articulation points of every letter. So you should be aware that there are 5 major areas where you pronounce letters from, and there are 17 specific articulation points. So again, there's 5 major articulation points, and within those 5 you'll find a total of 17 specific articulation points that you pronounce the letters from. So number 1, I just want to point out that the throat, the lips, and the tongue, these are specific articulation points, the major articulation points where you'll find, like for example in the throat, hamza ha, ayn ha, ghain kha, okay? But if you look at the nasal cavity, for example, this is the makhraj that you'll find the sound of ghunna coming out of. So there's not a letter that comes out of that makhraj. So the nasal cavity, al-khayshum, and then the jawf, which is the empty space in your mouth and your throat, those are both approximate articulation points where you can't pinpoint a letter from those articulation points. Bismillah. Okay. So let's talk about the jawf first, since that's the first one that comes up. So Al-Jawf, we said, is an approximate articulation point, and from the Jawf you'll find the letters of med. So when you pronounce a, u, e, that's coming out of the Jawf, the empty area within your mouth and your throat. And if you try to pronounce it, like if you had the word, for example, qala. So when you pronounce that alif, is that alif really coming out of a specific area? Qala. You just feel the sound coming out, but there's not a specific area. Okay? And the word tuba, that wow, tuba, it doesn't have a specific area. And then finally the ya, if I have the word bismillah, qila. So does that ya have a specific makhraj? And the answer to all of them is of course no, because it comes out of the jawf. Now I want to clarify that the alif becomes a letter of med when it has a fatha before it. The waw becomes a letter of med when it has a dhamma before it, and the ya becomes a letter of med when you have a kasra before it. Because inshallah, once we go into the middle of the tongue and then the lips, you'll find that waw isn't always a letter of med. If you say wa, pronouncing that waw is not a letter of med. And then if you say yaqulu, that ya is not a letter of med. It's pronounced from the middle part of the tongue. Okay, to move on, bismillah.